Hello students, welcome to Target AES. I hope you are having wonderful day. Let us continue with a very wonderful topic, open channel flow, and we are in module number 4, right? So module 4. So in this module I am going to teach you how to find flow parameters whenever you are experiencing this non-uniform flow. ठीक है? So whenever there is change in channel dimension, अगर channel dimension में change आ गया, let us say your channel bed is something like this. All of the sudden you have experienced some hump. ठीक है? All of the sudden you have experienced some hump. So what will be the flow characteristics here? पानी का लेवल कितना रहेगा यहाँ पे, right? If flow is being possible, let us say this is how it goes here. If it is y1, whenever you are experiencing a hump, what will be the change in depth and what will be the change in velocity? Let us say this is v1, let us say this is v2. I hope you are getting it, right? So whenever there is a change in channel geometry, there will be change in our flow parameters. It could be the depth, it could be the velocity. How to find these parameters? Let us try to understand now. Or there could be width contraction also, right? Let us say if you are seeing from the top, let us say this is your width of your channel. Okay, now there has been a width contraction. Okay, there has been a width contraction. Let us say this is initial width and this is your final width or any intermediate width, it doesn't matter. So obviously your flow characteristics will again change, your y value change, your depth of water change, your velocity change. So how much is this value? How to get it? Obviously we need certain equations to analyze, right? We have our energy equation, right? Energy is constant, वो वाला equation हम लगा सकते हैं. And there is one more term which is called as specific energy. You know what is total energy, right? So now what is the specific energy? Let us try to understand. यहीं पे समझा दूंगा. Again I will give you the definition in detail, no need to worry. You all know the concept of total energy, right? So for example, if I have some channel like this, or let me just take a channel something which is flowing like this. Okay, so this is my channel bed and I have water something like this and I have water flowing something like this. Perfectly fine, right? कोई issue नहीं है इसमें. So how much energy you will have? Obviously, if first of all you have to consider a datum. You take a datum and at any section if you want to find out how much energy is there, you have to add your datum head plus your pressure head plus your velocity head. आपको आपका total energy मिल जाएगा. It was very simple for you, right? Nothing to worry about. So what I am actually doing is, you can clearly see the datum head, it is varying. It is clearly varying as the channel is moving on, right? So what I can do is, I'm ignoring this datum head and I'm considering, it doesn't matter if it is slope, it is curved, it doesn't matter. I'm directly taking this channel bed, ये जो channel bed है मेरा, it as datum. I'm neglecting the slope, I'm neglecting any other thing. So my channel bed will be my datum. So what is now left? Now we are left with only potential head plus velocity head. So this I am calling it as specific energy. I hope you got it right. I hope you got the difference between total energy and specific energy. So datum head plus pressure head plus velocity head. आपको क्या मिल जाएगा? Total energy मिल जाएगा. If you are neglecting the datum head, how to neglect datum head? Let us be very clear. You are considering your channel bed as datum. अगर slope भी बनता है, it doesn't matter. Previously, always our datum was a horizontal line. So now I am breaking that rule. I am considering it as slope. It could be rising slope, falling slope. It doesn't matter. My channel bed is my datum now. So clearly I can ignore my datum head and write as a new format term which is called as specific energy, which is denoted by your potential head plus velocity head. Using this term also we can calculate lot of parameters. Okay, I hope it is very clear, right? समझ में आ गया आपको concept total head specific total energy specific energy. So now let us jump into our concept. If I have a non-uniform flow, obviously there could be two cases. One is because of hump or one is because of channel width contraction, as I have explained earlier in the beginning of this video. First let us see this channel hump. So whenever I am experiencing this channel hump, obviously when the flow is being possible, there will be some frictional forces, right? Because water is moving, थोड़े forces रहेंगे, there will be loss of head. Obviously whenever you are moving forward, there will be certain loss of head. So let us say this is your total energy 1 here. Here you will be getting your total energy 2. Here you will be getting your total energy 2. Not at all a problem, right? So if you want to balance your energy, how it will be? It will be your TE1 energy here and energy whatever is here at point 2. So you can write it as HL plus TE2 plus your delta Z bar, as simple as that. Okay, your delta Z. So there is nothing much to talk about, very plain. But now here we have some problem. यहाँ पे आ गया delta HL, which is a very headache for me, right? ये जो head loss है, it is very headache for me. So what I can do is I can ignore it. But how to ignore it? What I am doing is, whenever I have a hump something like this, there is some head loss, what I can imagine is, I can imagine I have a very long frictionless channel. When I said frictionless channel, HL term is gone. So I am considering my channel as frictionless so that my head loss is gone. Then obviously my answer is also wrong, right? अगर मैं head loss को consider नहीं करूंगा, my answer is wrong. Then how to get the right answer? What I am doing is, though I am considering it as a frictionless channel, so I am increasing the height of this hump. ठीक है, मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ? I am increasing the height of this hump by the value of my friction loss. So this ये जो line है ये constant ही रहेगा. So यहाँ पे TE1 है, यहाँ पे क्या आ रहा था? TE2 plus HL plus delta Z. Now what I am writing is same term, TE1 is equals to these parameters. Okay, so I am writing it as TE2 plus delta Z dash. Instead of delta Z, I am writing delta Z dash, where delta Z is nothing but delta Z plus HL. As simple as that. आई होप यू गॉट इट. ये छोटा लॉजिक यूज करने से आपको आपका फ्रिक्शनल लॉसेस जो भी है वो आप इग्नोर कर रहे हो, एंड इट विल बी वेरी मच इजी फॉर यू टू गेट what is your y2 value, because what you are finding out your y2 and v2, that is more important for us, right? तो आपको आपका y2 वैल्यू मिल जाएगा and v2 वैल्यू मिल जाएगा very easily. y2 and v2 value you will be getting very easily. I hope you got the logic right. Very simple. So I hope you get it. So you have your total energy line here, okay, and this is your channel bed. Hump size obviously increased by the value of HL, head loss मैंने इसी में include कर लिया है. So delta H dash is equals to delta Z of previous virginal hump plus head loss. Okay, so here my water level is Y1. As soon as you are experiencing this hump, there will be change in my water level, something like this, right? थोड़ा सा water rise रहेगा, and then I will be getting my depth of water at this hump. Y2 value आ जाएगा, ठीक है? And above this potential head, you will be having a velocity head V1 square by 2g, right? यहाँ पे आपको मिल जाएगा V2 square by 2g. So if you are aware of Y1 and V1, then obviously you can get your Y2 and V2 without much effort. यही इक्वेशन में आप सब्स्टिट्यूट कर लेना, आपको आंसर मिल जाएगा. I hope it is very clear, right? But now let us talk about practicality of this case. You are saying if I am experiencing certain hump, obviously there will be frictional losses. So what I am doing is I am considering it as a bigger hump than what it actually is. ठीक है, एंड इसी हम्प हाइट में मैं इंक्लूड कर रहा हूं मेरा हेड लॉस भी, हेड लॉस प्लस डेल्टा जेड. इफ दिस इज डेल्टा जेड, I am taking it as head loss plus delta Z, and I am considering my channel as frictionless so that I need not calculate my HL value. Okay, it is already included in my this height of hump. But now let us be very practical. अगर मैं hump का size इस तरह से बढ़ाता जाऊंगा, okay, if I am continuously increasing hump size, so in this case let us try to understand. Just give me a second. My water was flowing something like this, right? And in this case let us say my water is flowing something like this, but there will be certain limit if I continuously increase the height of my hump something like this. Okay, and पानी का level था something y1. Will this water be able to rise this much height? Is that practical? No, right? This type of flow would not be practical. पानी यहीं पर भी stop हो जाएगा, and here it will start to accumulate something like this. I hope you are getting it right. Flow is not being possible in this condition. So let us be very precise. There is a limit of this delta Z dash. ऐसा नहीं है कि you can keep on increasing it. There is some maximum limit. Okay, there is some maximum limit. The flow is possible only when this delta Z dash is less than your delta Z maximum. How much is this delta Z maximum? We will calculate at the end of same module. याद रखना, there is some certain value which you have to derive करना पड़ेगा. At the end derive कर लूंगा, काफी simple derivation है. So if it is less than that, if your delta Z is less than that delta Z maximum value, only then the flow will be possible, or else accumulation of water will take place, flow आगे नहीं बढ़ेगा. I hope concept is very clear for you. समझ में आ गया? So just read it once, you will be more than precise. You will not face any problem. So what else you can obviously write, right, your total energy equation is this: TE1 is equals to TE2 plus delta Z plus HL. So you can write it down. So your potential head Y1 plus your velocity head V square by 2G. How can you write V square by 2G? V you can write Q by A, right? So Q square by 2G A square. A of, if you are taking a rectangular channel, B and depth is Y, so you will be getting B square Y square, right? I hope you got it. समझ में आ गया कॉन्सेप्ट. So that's what I have written here: Q square by 2G B square Y square, right? So Y1 plus Q square by 2G B square Y1 square is equals to, ऑब्वियसली यहाँ पे आपको क्या मिल रहा था, यहाँ पे आपको क्या मिल रहा था, टोटल एनर्जी का जो भी टर्म है, सो दैट इज सेम Y2 plus Q square by 2G B square Y2 square, and your delta Z plus HL together I am writing it as delta Z bar. End of story, right? I hope you got it, and you can use this equation and get your flow parameters like y1 and z y1 and v1, sorry, y2 and v2. But we have one rule, that your delta Z bar should be less than your delta Z maximum for the flow to be possible in the very first place. Clear concept, right? The same concept continues with the width contraction. Okay, so you had some channel and इस तरह से width contract हो चुका है. See, the flow is said to be possible when there is no accumulation. So if you are sending Q, obviously Q discharge should be coming out, right? If you are sending Q discharge should be coming out. So what I'm doing is I'm doing this exact same thing. I'm considering it as horizontal and frictionless channel. I'm considering it as a horizontal and frictionless channel. So यहाँ पे एक लाइन डालेंगे, यहाँ पे एक लाइन डालेंगे. So you know here it will be y1 plus v1 square by 2g, and here it is y2 plus v2 square by 2g, right? And now here comes a very simple concept which you have to understand. See, if you have some channel contraction like this, let us say आपका channel कुछ इस तरह से था and it got contracted a bit, so no problem, all this discharge will easily pass through this also, because I know a1 v1 is equals to a2 v2, right? So if area here is decreasing, obviously my velocity will increase, so I will not have any problem. But let us be practical. If I keep on decreasing my width to certain extent, will the same discharge be able to pass through this small dimension? Is that practical? No, right? So in this case नई फ्लो विल नॉट बी पॉसिबल. आपको अक्यूमुलेशन मिल जाएगा, यहाँ पे y वैल्यू काफी हाई बढ़ता जाएगा and the water which is passing through here will be very less. I hope you can imagine, right? So we have this formula, it's well and good, but it also has certain limitations. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप dimension खमाते जाओगे and you will be getting that infinitely high velocity. It is not practical to achieve, right? I hope you are getting it right. So there is certain limit for my width contraction also. So whatever I have this width in this section, let us take b2, right? It cannot be less than certain value. Okay, let us say b minimum is the value at which I am getting the discharge. Okay, I am getting the same discharge and I don't have any such type of accumulation or stoppage of my flow. The flow is continuous. So in this case, if your width, whatever of your channel is, if it is greater than your b minimum, only in that case your flow will be possible, right? I hope you got it right. The same concept is here. So if you have something like this, horizontal and frictionless channel, so obviously you can take it like this. Horizontal का है, so you need not consider much about your datum head also, आपको ignore हो जाएगा. So y1 यहाँ पे आ गया v1 square by 2g, यहाँ पे आ गया y2 v2 square by 2g. You just have to substitute it. So how to substitute it? Y1 plus v1 square by 2g, you can write it as q1 square by 2g b1 square y1 square, and here you can write it as y2 plus q2 square by 2g b2 square y2 square. So using this you can find out your y2 value and v2 value, but there is a condition. What is that condition? Your v2, whatever is there here after width contraction, it should be greater than certain value. How much? We have to derive. We will derive at the end of this module. Okay, so specific energy मैंने जो आपको पढ़ाया था वो concept use करेंगे and then we will be deriving this. End of story. समझ में आ गया concept आपको? So what are the assumptions we are doing in this? We are ignoring the losses due to width contraction. In this formula you can clearly see I have just used my total energy. Okay, ये जो losses बन रहे हैं, the losses because of this width contraction, obviously there will be eddies generated. यहाँ पे आपको eddies मिल जाएंगे. So because of this eddies generated due to width contraction, there will be certain losses in your energy. but I am ignoring it because those losses are very less. Okay, आपके friction losses जो भी थे HL, it is very high compared to your these eddy losses or width contraction losses. So I considered my head loss here in this equation. I have considered my head loss, but when it comes to here, it is only because of width contraction, and ये जो eddies है वो कम ही energy loss होता है उससे. So I am ignoring it. Directly I am using this formula and get my answer, as simple as that. So there is a limit. If your B2 value is greater than B minimum, only then the flow will be possible. Okay, so for both delta Z and B we have values. अगर आपकी delta Z value is greater than your Z maximum, the height has been increased to such an extent, flow will not be possible. Okay, if your width has contracted to such an extent, let us say your width is less than B minimum, again flow is not possible. I hope you get it. Concept is clear for you. So this is everything about it, and to calculate this we need special equation, and that equation is of specific energy curve. ठीक है, specific energy, you already know the concept, right? अभी तो समझाया था. Now let us see the definition and then we will jump into specific energy curve concept. Okay, so specific energy curve, before that let us talk about specific energy. It is nothing but total energy at a section with respect to channel bed as datum. So what you are doing, you are ignoring the datum and considering channel bed as your datum and end of story. Okay, it is the vertical distance between total energy line and your channel bed, as simple as that. So mathematically how you can represent, so यहाँ पे आपको data med ignore हो चुका है, this is whatever z value है it is ignored, and let us say this is your potential head and this is your velocity head, v1 square by 2g. So this is your energy, end of story, right? So this is your E value. आपसे E का मतलब होता है specific energy. Okay, from now on E will be specific energy and we will be using it very frequently. It is not a physical parameter. It can increase or decrease or remain constant along the flow direction. See, I have told you my total energy, it can only decrease along the flow direction, right? Total energy क्या कर सकता है? It can only decrease, but your specific energy, because यहाँ पे datum हमने ignore कर रखा है, याद रखना. So obviously there will be changes. It could actually be constant, it could rise or it could fall also. याद रखना, this is the main difference. Total energy along the flow direction in open channel, obviously it should be a falling curve, whereas your specific energy, as you are ignoring the datum, यहाँ पे there will be changes, right? There will be obviously changes. So here you can get a constant, you can get rising, or you can get a falling curve along the direction of flow. Okay, I hope you got it. So when you will be getting constant or when you will be getting a rise or fall, let us see these conditions clearly. So if you have something like this, okay, so the channel bed is something like this. Okay, you are considering this as your datum. यहाँ पे आ गया आपको delta z and यहाँ पे आपका datum कितना है? Very less. Okay, or let us say it was something like this. This is your datum. यहाँ पे datum कितना बन गया? 0, right? So what is your total energy equation which you can apply? You can apply is E1 plus delta z, right? E1 plus delta z, and यहाँ पे कितना आएगा? यहाँ पे कितना आएगा? So that will be E2 plus HL. यहाँ पे कितना? E2 plus HL, right? I hope it is very simple for you. So E2 value I am sending here, so I will be getting E1 minus E2 is equals to what I can do? I can obviously, and I can set my delta z to this side. So E1 minus E2 is equals to HL minus delta z. So this is what it is. So if my HL value, let us try to understand, or you can rearrange these terms, right? Or you can rearrange this term. You can write it as E2 minus E1 is equals to delta z minus HL, right? You can write like this, right? Now let us try to understand if your delta z value is greater than HL, is greater than HL. So आपको यहाँ पे पॉजिटिव वैल्यू मिल जाएगा. In that case what you will be getting, you will be getting your E2 value is greater than E1. अगर आपका delta z value greater than HL है, then E2 value is greater than E1. So that means your specific energy, if you are just talking about specific energy value, what happened? Your E2 value is actually greater than E1 if your delta z value is greater than your head loss, is greater than your head loss. I hope you got it right. तो यहाँ पे क्या मिल रहा है आपको? Specific energy curve will be rising. If you are just drawing specific energy curve, यहाँ पे था आपको E1, यहाँ पे मिल रहा है आपको E2, right? I hope you got it right. So it got increased. I hope you got the concept right. But if you are seeing the total energy with respect to datum अगर आप देख रहे हो, so you can clearly see it is only falling. It is only falling. Done. समझ में आ गया कॉन्सेप्ट आपको? सो सिमिलरली इफ योर डेल्टा जेड वैल्यू इज लेस देन एच एल, सो इफ डेल्टा एच इज ग्रेटर देन एच एल, आपको मिल रहा था राइजिंग कर्व. इफ इट इज लेस देन एच एल, ऑब्वियसली इट विल बी अ फॉलिंग कर्व, राइट? इट विल बी अ फॉलिंग कर्व. इफ it is constant, if delta h is equals to hl, then obviously your, let us try to understand delta h, delta z minus hl, right? Delta z minus hl, so it is equal, so you got 0, e2 is equals to e1. So in this case what you will be getting, you will be getting your energy curve as constant. आपको एक straight line मिल जाएगा, e1 is equals to e2, right? I hope you got it. So this is everything what you have to understand. Now let us try to analyze our critical flow using this specific energy. जो भी आपको concept आया है ना, so using that let us try to understand this concept. Okay, यहाँ पे एक मैंने छोटा नोट बनाया है. It could be important for your SSC. For a horizontal frictionless channel, if you have a horizontal channel and it is frictionless, the obviously your specific energy will remain constant along the direction of flow, because I have told you horizontal and frictionless. When I am talking about horizontal, what is your delta z value? 0. ये टर्म आपका 0 हो गया. फ्रिक्शनलेस कहा है तो h वैल्यू कितना? 0 हो गया. सो e2 माइनस e1 इज इक्वल्स टू डेल्टा h माइनस डेल्टा z माइनस h, विच इज नथिंग बट 0. सो e2 इज इक्वल्स टू e1. आपको क्या मिलेगा? एक कांस्टेंट लाइन मिलेगा. आई होप यू गॉट इट राइट. स्पेसिफिक एनर्जी विल बी कांस्टेंट. सो नाउ कमिंग टू क्रिटिकल फ्लो. अरे यार मैंने कहा था आपको, इन क्रिटिकल फ्लो योर फ्रॉड नंबर इज, योर FR वैल्यू is equals to 1. Concept याद है ना? It is the flow in which the flow is being possible with the minimum energy. If you reduce the energy even by a small quantity, flow will not be possible. याद है ना concept? The same we are going to derive now. I will show you how I got my Froude number is equals to 1. So let us take any channel. कुछ इस तरह से मैंने channel ले लिया है. So area is A, top width is T, and the depth, let us say it is Y. So I can say my area is T into Y, right? So my dA will be T into dy, okay? And I can write T as dA by dy, T as dA by dy. So now let us go back to our equation. Specific energy, I know Y is equals to, sorry, E is equals to Y plus V square by 2G, or I can write my V as Q by A, so I can write it as y plus q square by 2g a square. As simple as that, right? So for a critical flow, what should be your energy? Energy value should be minimum, right? Your E value should be minimum. How to know your E value is minimum? अरे यार काफी सिंपल है, डेरिवेट कर लेना. dE by dy is equals to 0 से डेरिवेट कर लोगे, आपको करस्पॉन्डिंग मिनिमम कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स मिल जाएगा. आई होप यू गॉट इट राइट. सेम कॉन्सेप्ट. सो फॉर मिनिमम वैल्यू ऑफ स्पेसिफिक एनर्जी, व्हाट यू आर डूइंग, यू आर डेरिवेटिंग इट. So dE by dy कर लेना. So I have to do d by dy, because d by dy is equals to 0. So 0 should be equals to d by dy of y plus q square by 2g a square, right? So d by dy of y कितना? 1 plus q square by 2g a square. So what I am doing is q square by 2g I am taking out, d by dy of 1 by a square. So how can I write? I can write it as 1 plus q square by 2g d by dy of 1 by a square. So how much it will be? It will be nothing but a square denominator में है तो a cube बन जाएगा. So in what should be the constant? It should be minus 2, right, at the top. And dA by dy, and dA by dy यहीं पे मैंने starting में derivate कर दिया था. dA by dy is nothing but your t value, top width. So this I am replacing with t. So this is my formula. So 1 plus a 2 cancel, q square t by g a cube is your, it should be equals to 0, right? Sorry, यहाँ पे minus आएगा. 1 minus q square t by g a cube should be equals to 0. So q square t by g a cube is equals to 1. See, I have taught you in the second module itself what is your Froude number for a channel. It was nothing but under root of q square t by g a cube. याद आ गया ना? और I told you to remember it as fr square. मैंने 5 स्टार डाल के सिखाया था, q square t by g a cube. So what I am doing is, instead of this I am writing as fr square is equals to 1. So what is my fr value? It is equals to 1. So for a critical flow, what is your fr value? Now it is equals to 1. I hope you got it right. So previously we just used to by heart it कि critical flow में Froude number 1 रहता है. How you got 1? Now you know, right? I hope you got it. So but there is one big flaw here. Can you guess what is that flaw? I have told you for this flow to be critical, your total energy should be minimum. बट यहाँ पे हमने कौन सा यूज किया है, हमने यूज किया है योर स्पेसिफिक एनर्जी वाला फॉर्मूला. देख रहे हो डिफरेंस, राइट? So there is some limitation for my fraud number. For critical flow, actually your fraud number, yeah, is 1, but it comes with limitation. Okay, so let us try to understand. We never get critical flow at fraud number is equals to 1 in reality for critical flow. Why? Because the total energy should be minimum, but here what I have derived, my fraud number is equals to 1 when my specific energy is minimum. मैंने तो neglect कर दिया है datum head, राइट? आई होप यू गॉट इट. सो बेसिकली आपको वन वैल्यू इन नेचर नहीं मिलेगा, इट विल बी डिफरेंट फ्रॉम वन. आई होप यू गॉट इट. सो बट एज वी आर नेग्लेक्टिंग दिस बेड स्लोप और डेटम, what I can do is I can take my fraud number as 1. I am ignoring it and I am taking my fraud number as 1. It has limitations, but I am undermining those limitations. Okay, so whenever your fraud number is 1, flow is critical, there will be certain depth of water with which it is flowing, right? So if you are joining that line, your critical depth wala whatever is there along the flow, you will be getting a line, and I'm calling this line as critical depth line. It is critical depth line. Okay, so let us see what are the various types of slope which you will be experiencing in our open channel. You could have a mild slope, काफी कम slope, and then you can also have a steep slope. You can have a steep slope. Remember these words: mild, steep, right? And you can have almost like horizontal slope, or you can have adverse slope. Adverse slope yani increasing slope. Basically in nature, obviously in open channel you will be seeing the falling slope also, right? Falling slope only, but there could be the rising slope also, and this will be considered as adverse condition. Okay, adverse condition for your flow. So basically we will be experiencing mild, horizontal, steep, adverse. आगे भी कुछ और भी है, वो भी हम पढ़ेंगे एडवांस लेवल पे, but for now it is very clear, right? Mild, horizontal, steep and adverse. So now as we have started this critical flow wala concept, let us derive our formulas for my critical depth as well as minimum specific energy. So first let us take our rectangular channel, and then I will derive for triangular. If you are taking a rectangular channel, you know the width is b, the depth of water is yc. For critical flow, you know, my fraud number is equals to 1, q square t by g, a cube should be equals to 1. You can clearly see it is a rectangular channel. My top width is equals to my b, right? Q square b by g into a cube. How can I write a cube? A is nothing but b into y, right? So b cube, a cube, b cube, y cube. So it is a for critical flow, right? So depth corresponding will be critical depth. So I'm writing, instead of y cube, I'm writing directly as yc cube, where yc stands for my critical depth. So this should be equals to 1. So I can write this q square, जो भी बन रहा है ना, एक जो भी बन रहा है, let us be very precise, एक q square by b cube जो भी बना है, what I can actually write it as. Let us try to understand. Let us try to understand. This b and ये जो b है, a cube cancel and it will become square, right? So q square by b square क्या लिख सकते हो? You can write it as small q. आगे से हम small q बहुत यूज करेंगे. From now on we are going to use small q a lot. It is nothing but discharge per unit width, right? You can write it as discharge per unit width. Okay, I hope you got it. So discharge per unit width, I'm writing it as q. So whenever I'm replacing it, what I will be getting, q by b as my small q, that will be q square by g y c cube is equals to 1. So just rearrange the terms. Your yc cube will be nothing but q square by g, or you can write your yc as q square by g, sorry, q square by g whole to the power of 1 by 3. So give it 5 star, give it 5 star. So direct formula पूछता है SSC JEE में, what is critical depth for rectangular channel? Your answer is q square by g whole to the power of 1 by 3. I hope you got it. And you have to remember a few things. What does this critical depth depends on? You can clearly see it depends on your q by b value, or you can say your discharge, and also channel geometry. अगर width आपका change हो रहा है, then also your q value changes, right? G is constant, it doesn't matter. So your q value, small q, it depends on your capital Q and B. So capital Q and also your channel geometry, your width. अगर width आपका change हो रहा है, critical depth आपका change हो जाएगा. Done? Perfect. And critical depth is independent of bed slope, because यहाँ पे आपको slope का कोई equation बना ही नहीं है ना, S value तो है ही नहीं है यहाँ पे. I hope you got it right. So it is independent of bed slope. So for clear, right, these two terms are very important, please do remember. Now what should be the minimum specific energy so that flow is possible? If you have a rectangular channel, इसमें कितना minimum energy रहना चाहिए so that my flow will be possible? So same equation I'm going to use. YC EC is equals to YC plus Q square by 2G A square. For flow to be critical, I know my Froude number. It should be equals to 1. So Q square by G A square is equals to A by T. Can I write like that? Can I write like that? So I am replacing this. ये जो बनता है ना यहाँ पे Q square by G A square. I am replacing it by A by T. Okay, I am replacing it by A by T. So what will be my EC value? My EC will be YC plus IA by T. यहाँ पे 2 था, so 2T, right? Because Q square by G A square is nothing but A by T, right? So I'm just using that. My EC is equals to YC plus A by 2T. So this is for all cross sections. Remember, यहाँ पे मैंने अभी substitute नहीं किया. A is equals to B into Y. If I substituted A is equals to B into Y, I will be getting rectangle. If I am substituting for of BH, A is equals to of BH, then I will be getting for triangle, so on. As I have not substituted A value, this equation जो भी है, it can be valid for all cross sections and give it 5 star. You have to remember this. Minimum specific energy equation from now on is YC plus A by 2T. What is it? YC plus A by 2T. If you are taking a rectangular channel, you can obviously write YC plus A by 2T. A is nothing but your B into YC divided by 2 into T. You can write top width is again B, right? So BB cancel. So you will be getting YC by 2. So Y plus YC by 2. Y or YC plus YC by 2. So how much is it? It is nothing but 3 by 2 YC. So if you have a rectangular section, minimum energy आपको 3 by 2 YC रहनी चाहिए so that your flow is actually possible. I hope you got it. Concept समझ में आ गया. Now anyway we are in critical depth. We have measured minimum specific energy. Let us calculate critical velocity also. Critical velocity भी calculate कर लेंगे. Same equation है YC plus V square by 2G. So what is EC value? It is 3 by 2 YC. And you are getting YC plus V square by 2G. So ये यहाँ पे substitute कर लेना. So you will be getting YC by 2 is equals to V square by 2G. 2 cancel. Your V values, minimum specific energy, let us your critical velocity, write as slightly as VC directly, is equals to GY under root, GYC under root to be precise, right? So for a rectangular channel, what is your critical velocity? It is under root GYC. So give it 5 star again, very important bit again. So this is everything about critical flow. And let us also derive one more equation. Relationship between your Froude number and depth of flow. Relation between your Froude number FR and depth of flow directly, Y value directly. Okay. So this concludes whatever you want for critical flow, right? आपको याद है formulas. So minimum specific energy 3 by 2 YC. And what is your YC value? This is your minimum specific energy. And what was your YC value? इसमें YC value कितना था? Q square by G whole to the power of 1 by 3. And what else you have? You have critical velocity VC, which is nothing but ये जो value बन रहा है आपको G into YC. End of story. Perfect हो आप. This is for rectangular channel. So this was about critical flow in rectangular channel. Now let us see one more thing before we jump to critical flow in triangular channel. Okay. एक काम करूंगा, triangular channel it's already like 40 odd minutes, right? So what I will do is, let us continue or let us take a break. I will do one thing. I will teach up to this. I will just teach this concept and let us take a break. Okay. So relationship between your Froude number and depth of flow. Let us calculate. Your Froude number is FR square is equals to Q square T by GAQ. Right. For rectangular channel, your A value is B into Y. So I can write your FR square is equals to Q square B by G B cube A cube. Right. So again B cancel and you will be getting Q square by B square. So your FR square is equals to Q square by G Y to the power of 3. So your FR, if I am sending square here, it will be Q divided by G to the power of 1 by 2, y to the power of 3 by 2. So from here you can clearly see your fraud number is inversely proportional to y to the power of 3 by 2. अगर आपका डेप्थ बढ़ता है you can obviously relate your fraud number will decrease. Okay, your fraud number will decrease. So how is it related? It is inversely related and to the power of 3 by 2. So this is everything what you have to learn in this module number 4. Actually I wanted to continue and also derive you delta z max and b minimum. याद है ना आपको ये दो वैल्यूज. So I actually wanted to derive that, but यहाँ पे मैं break ले लूँगा, right? So because it's already 40 odd minutes, in the next module I will derive that. Okay, in next module I will show you the triangular channel and specific energy curve. Once you are done with specific energy curve, you can calculate your delta z max and delta b minimum in our module number 5. Okay, so module number 5 में हम यहाँ तक देख लेंगे momentum equation. Till momentum equation we'll see. Have a nice day. See you in module number 5.